In today's video, I'm going to do another topic focused specifically on the Chrome OS operating system. And specifically today, I'm going to tackle one of the primary concerns I hear from people when it comes to Chromebooks, and that is the ability to work on files offline when you're not connected to the internet, when you don't have Wi-Fi, whatever it may be. It's a common thing that I hear, and I would say that when Chrome was first becoming a thing, the Chromebook OS was first becoming a thing, it definitely was a major limitation. But it was resolved pretty quickly, and there is absolutely the capacity for you to work on a file offline if you so choose. So let's talk about that today. The first thing that you're going to want to do is to install an extension. And this extension is called Google Docs Offline. And it's this one right here. The way you can find this is you can just do a simple Google search for Google Docs Offline and you'll find what you're looking for. As you can see here, I already have it added to Chrome. So once you go to this page, this button actually right here will be green and you'll be asked to add to Chrome. So you can click there to add it to Chrome, and then it'll be installed on the machine and you'll never even know that it's there. The next thing you're going to want to do is you want to actually launch your Google Drive screen and perform one more setup step. So we're going to talk about that now. So once I launch my Drive screen, you can see here I've got all my files and stuff. And you can notice down here that I get this notification right here. So I can turn that off. And then once you go up here to settings, there's an option here that says offline, and it's under the general section. And under offline, there's a checkbox that says sync Google Docs, Sheets, Slides, and Drawings files to this computer so you can edit offline. Once those two things are done, if you just now turn on that checkbox, you'll actually get a pop-up here at the bottom left that says it's syncing your recent files. What that means is that it's taking things that have been opened within a specific amount of time and making them automatically available offline. This process does take a little bit of time, so you can't immediately go offline after you turn this on. In fact, I would recommend giving it a good 5 or 10 minutes after you enable those settings for your computer to kind of catch up with what you've turned on there. So to prove my point, I'm going to show you exactly how this works. So if I have this Google Docs offline extension installed, which I do, and I turn on that setting within Google Drive, which I did, what I should be able to do at this point is to go down here and actually turn off my Wi-Fi, which I'm going to do. And you can see now down here at the bottom, the Wi-Fi is turned off. I am now disconnected. To prove a point, I can show you that I have no internet connection. Okay? And what I'm going to do now is show you how exactly you go about accessing this stuff. So down here at the bottom, if you have that extension installed, you can launch, for example, Google Docs. And what's going to happen is you'll see that this page loads anyway. When it loads anyway, you'll see you have some items right here. Now, these are items that I've had opened sort of recently, or things that I've specifically enabled to be offline no matter what, which I'm going to show you shortly. So if I open this document, as you can see, I'm able to make changes. So I can come in here and I can, add some spaces, hello, do additional typing. And what's going to happen is that as soon as I go back online, any changes I've made to this document will become live. They will sync up to Google Drive and become live. This icon right here, this little lightning bolt thing, indicates that it's an offline file. It shows you that you're working on a document that is not currently in the cloud, that is stored on the machine itself. And again, as a reminder, I am offline to prove that this can be done. Now, let's say, for example, that you have a document you don't open very often, but you definitely want it available in an emergency offline if something should happen. Can we do that? Well, of course we can. What we're going to do now is take a look at this section right here. If you click these 3 dots, you can actually turn on this button, and that will override that recent setting. Okay, by overriding that recent setting, what you're telling the syncing system is that you want this file synced no matter how long it's been since it's been opened. So if it's something you may or may not need, and so it's been maybe many months since you've accessed it, for example, you can make that so that it'll override that. It'll always be available offline. You never have to worry about if it's been opened recently. So you can turn on that for files in an individual capacity, and you can change your view by clicking this button here, for example. I can check on this. I can turn these on available offline. Any file that has that enabled will have this little icon with the check mark there. So you can see if I turn it on here, you'll get that little icon with the check mark there. Now, as soon as I go back online, it's going to start to sync all that back up to the top. So once I go here and I turn this on, it's going to turn the Wi-Fi back on. And you'll see that this little icon here indicates there's some changes that need to be synced up to the cloud, which it's going to do. Okay. So as soon as it's waiting to sync changes, as soon as you open that, it's going to push those changes up to the cloud and you'll be right back where you started from. You can see here saving and all changes saved in Drive. So we've talked about how things are automatically synced. We've talked about how to override that setting and choose what you want synced offline. And again, this is just another of the many versatile options that you get with the Chrome operating system. It does allow you to work in just about any environment, and it does work really, really well as an offline machine. So you can create content from scratch. You can even go here to Docs, actually, and let's say if we turn it off one more time, go ahead and turn off our Wi-Fi one more time. Now that it's off and I'm offline, you can actually still create a blank document. Even when you're offline, you can start something new and say test, start editing, and you can start typing, just type some gibberish here. But you'll see I am offline. And it'll say all changes saved offline, but as soon as you go back online, it's going to sync that up to your Drive and it'll show up as a regular file just like any other. I'm hoping to do more Chrome OS focused videos in the future, and I hope this was of help to you, and enjoy using your device.